Do I look okay?
Good evening, everyone. This is the Ask Dr. Renee show. I am your host, Dr. Renee. Tonight we have with us Stephen Russell Harts, the lead singer of Troop, amongst a lot of other titles that he holds that he'll tell us about. But this show is here just to motivate and inspire you to live the life you deserve. Do whatever it is that you've dreamt of doing, just do it and do it now. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the one life we have, so you might as well live life while you are here on earth right now. If you want to see any of our past episodes, please go to my website, askdrrenee.info, and you can click on the Ask Dr. Renee Show tab, and you can see the playlist of all the other episodes. Please subscribe to the channel sometime now during this broadcast. And also, if you have questions during the broadcast, click on the box in the bottom of the window. It says be a participant in the audience. Click on that. It'll take you to another screen. You click on the white boxes in the upper right-hand corner, click Q&A, and the question and answer box will drop down on the right side of your screen, and you can type in your questions, and we'll take those at that time. So, as I said, our guest tonight is Stephen Russell Harts. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you for having me.
So
glad to be.
So, Steve, can you please share with us, what was your ambition as a child?
My ambition was to be like my Uncle Paul. My mother's brother, Paul, was a professional tennis player. He was a professional ballet dancer. He could speak different languages. He could play different instruments. So all I remember as a little kid was always saying, dang, I want to be like Uncle Paul. I want to be like Uncle Paul, you know. And then, you know, as I got older, you know, I was more inspired by to take care of me and handedly to just, you know, want to be like her and work hard and make things. I listened to her dreams. I wanted to make mine come true, you know. Mm-hmm. So that was my ambition, to take it to another level.
So when did you start doing the whole Michael Jackson thing out on Venice Beach and stuff? Did you hear me?
Actually, I liked Michael Jackson growing up, the Jacksons, but I didn't start to be fascinated by him and want to imitate him until, like, I guess the 7th grade. And I was just blown away with the black and white TV that I used to keep right by my bed and just look at right in my face, you know. And Casey Kasem came on, and I mean, when I saw Beat It and just Outdone, then you talk and an inspiration, that was it. I went head over heels for Michael Jackson at that time.
So, so then that's when you decided that this is what you wanted to do then?
Yeah, after performing and doing shows and doing shows at the school, and the whole auditorium is screaming, "We want Steve!" It just was so big. I was like, shoot, I could have this for myself. Shoot, let me try to sing, you know. But yeah, that was it.
So when did you start singing then? You didn't know? Did you not know you could sing then?
Singing undercover and to girls on the phone and stuff. But I didn't out loud and stuff like that until I was about 12 or 13. When I started taking performance, that's when I started singing and let my mom hear me sing and stuff like that. My practice, we used to have the little 3-way calling, and I would be singing on the phone. So I started singing 12, 13. You know, I had always been trying to sing when I was little, good or anything.
Okay. So you started singing, and so you said around 7th grade when you were doing the whole Michael Jackson thing. So when did you make the decision that this is what you were going to pursue and you weren't going to worry about, you know, tennis or anything else?
At that time, I guess my grandmother passed in 1984, and she used to always think that I was a pretty special kid and that I'm special. I wanted to prove her right. I wanted to make those things that she spoke of about me a reality. So around 84 was when I decided that this is what I want.
So, I mean, you lived in California, so maybe you were closer to it than other people might have thought. But how did you go about, what did you do to try and pursue this?
We was on the other side of the world, you know, from Hollywood, even though it's 15 minutes away. We just decided, I was always in, when I performed in every talent show. I went to every studio. I just surrounded myself around music stuff like my mom advised me to. And at the same time, Rodney was on a TV show called Putting on the Hits. And, you know, we in school, you know, check us out this weekend. We show coming up in Pasadena High School, like a big time. At this time, talent shows was big stuff. This is like that movie. I can't think of it right now, but anyway, this was like that where the talent shows were big, big stuff. So anyway, the person putting on the talent show wanted Rodney to see if he would be a part of the talent show. And at the same time, unbeknownst to me, Rodney and his mom got a letter from Putting on the Hits and they could really sing. And she told him, yeah. And Rodney to ask me to be in the group while I was looking for him. So that's when it all started, right? For me to be a part of this group, 1984.
So Putting on
I
the
know I
Hits,
talk a lot. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. Putting on the Hits was a lip syncing show. So that's why they asked, could they really sing? Because the show, you didn't sing on it, you danced and you
Yes.
performed, but it was lip syncing. So just for people that didn't watch or too young to know, I just want to let them know that that's what it was.
Yeah.
So fast forward, you guys end up, because you guys were called something else, and so you end up being Troop. And so how did Troop get signed?
Well, we got the attention. Well, the actual person who noticed Rodney on Putting on, Greg Perret was the reason. He ended up being the still that got connected to the industry, because after we stopped working with him, I actually stole his number out of Rodney's mom's phone book, and I called him time, and you know, you can't work with us, but is there anybody you could turn us on to just leaving us, you know? And he said, you know what, I do have a friend, you know, I'm gonna call you guys back. So this was a couple months, and then he called us back with our favorite cook on the phone, and that's how that's how we got the attention of us later, was through that connection with David Cook.
Okay. So most people don't know. There's some that do, but Steve is also an amazing songwriter and has written the soundtrack, I think, to my life. But so how, I know your first song was with the Whispers. How did you make that happen? And you were young too, right?
I didn't hear it. I know you
I
said
know
something about I'm a
right.
songwriter.
Right. So your first song was with the Whispers, correct?
Well, I think I know what you asked. I started writing songs in the 10th grade. And from there, once I found out that I had a talent for it, I just wanted to get better and better. I started really paying attention to melodies and storylines and hooks. I just really was amazed by the whole concept of songwriting. And I wanted to be really good at that too. You know, I wanted to be a great song. My goals once I developed the gift. And so I've been pursuing the songwriting since I was 10 years old. I mean, since I was in the 10th grade. I've been writing since I was 15.
So your
and
first
I had
song.
accent baby face. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Say it again. No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I was saying, and I had idols like Gerald Levert, Chucky Booker, Babyface, Michael Jackson, all these great songwriters, Lionel Richie, Curtis Mayfield. You know, I idolized so many great.
So your first song that you got placed was with the Whispers. Is that right?
Yes. Actually, the very first one was with Troop. I placed a song on our very first album called Watch Me Dance. It's a funny song to listen to now, but I thought it was so hot then. Anyway, I actually got my first placement with Troop, but check outside of Troop. My first gold album outside of Troop was with the Whispers. God
and
bless
how did you make that happen?
Well, I was working with a guy named Tim to be one of the original members of Guy. And we were working on Jasmine Guy. And I was working on some music to try to get another song on there, you know. And the Whispers in the studio heard the song and was like, man, you did that? I was like, yeah, that's my track. Yeah, that's me. It's like, man, you know, you want to get paid? I was like, heck yeah, I want to get paid, you know. And plus, I love you guys, you know. They made it their intention to give me a placement, whether they loved the song, trusted me, and they wanted to be the gods in my life at that time, and that's exactly what they were.
Well, I'm sure that was just an amazing experience, because I'm sure you grew up listening to the Whispers like I did. And to work with them and have them be the first people outside of your group that paid you, you know, that had to be quite an experience.
Amazing.
So from there, how did you continue with the songwriting and then producing? Because I know you did do some stuff for Troop, some more stuff for Troop that is obviously very well known. But go ahead.
I continued to write and produce. As a member of Troop and work on Troop songs, but I also was getting work outside of Troop, and that's the Whispers, and from the Whispers that caught the attention of MC Hammer's brother, Louis Burrell, and we were on tour with Louis Burrell, and you know that he was putting the work in for this guy Steve. I'm looking for. I want to talk to him, so. Louis Burrell had a label on Capitol Records, you know, and had a lot of artists, and he wanted to know if I was interested in producing his artists, and he would pay me and I was like, so I ended up producing my first string of a lot of artists. Special Generation, B. David Black. It was just so many artists. I was doing remixes for everything over there. And then from there, I went through a slow period. That time that I was doing all that writing and producing, Troop made changes and stuff like that slowed down Troop's career. So during that time, it was several years that I was trying to figure out my life as an artist, writing a bunch of songs to myself, not really putting them out there. A friend of mine that I used to write songs with some years earlier called me out of the blue and asked me, did I want to be a part of his called The Underdogs? And I, yeah. And I got with them, and I wrote and produced my first hit record, you know, back in the day with a group called B2K. A song called Gots to Be changed my life and led me to all the tons of other stuff that I've been on since then.
And so you have to name just a few of the things that you've been on that people would know.
Okay, I'll start the movies first. Shark Tale and Shrek 3, Dreamgirls, City. I go back. Shoot. I worked Tyrese, Chris Brown. Chris Brown, and the songs I was on was Your Man Ain't Me, first album, Take You Down, Up to You, Free Run. I had Jennifer Hudson. I wrote and produced a song called Invisible, got my first Grammy. Chris Brown, Take You Down. Man, Charlie Wilson. Sorry, I can't believe I had Charlie Wilson. He was like Michael Jackson to me too. So I got to work on Uncle Charlie. Work with Donell Jones. I work with Faith. I work with Ruben Studdard, Elliot Yamin, Catherine McPhee, David Archuleta. Aretha Franklin, just so many people. It's so hard for me to name everybody, with so many people that I loved and admired growing up. Dreams really have come true in music.
So is there anybody left that you haven't worked with that you would like to work with?
Yes, I would love to record with Melvin Riley, with Ready Up to record with another one of my idols, Ronald Isley, with R. Kelly. I would love to work with Drake, Minaj. I love Beyonce, Rihanna. You know, I like really hot artists, so I'd love to work with them.
Okay, I see. So do you ever, when you write songs, do you write songs with a specific artist in mind, or once they call you, then you write a song for them?
Well, Chris Brown is gonna be in the building. We start right immediately. I put a Chris Brown, or what I think Chris Brown, what I put that hat on, and I just start. You know, trying to come up with something that's gonna sound good for, you know, for him. You know, and a lot of times you can write a song for somebody and it ends up on somebody else. So it's not like you, but you know, when you have an artist in the studio for a week and a half and he's just walking around the studio from room to room, shoot, you can pretty much sure a song around an artist like that. I had the opportunity to like that. You know, when we had the artists, we had them in the studio for several days. So we got a chance to talk about what they like, dislike, personal things, to really go into the thought process about writing something for them. So it happens both ways. You think about an artist or for an artist, but it's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of times the song for Chris Brown end up or Marion or something like that, you know. And then sometimes, like in the case of Take You Down, it works. He takes it, you know.
Now, is there any song that you thought would have been perfect for someone else, but they turned it down, and then it ended up with somebody else?
Yes, that's happened a few times that we thought a song would be great for someone else, really good on somebody else. So I've experienced that a few times.
Can you give us a name or two? A song?
There was a song called "Why You Wanted" for Ruben Studdard, but written for Charlie Wilson, and you know, I thought it was going to be great for Charlie Wilson, but we ended up doing it on Ruben Studdard, and ended up being a smash. You know, the song "No Air." That song was originally for a friend of ours, James Fauntleroy, and it ended up on Chris Brown and No Air, of course, one of the career. So I've experienced.
Okay. What are your thoughts on R&B today versus yesterday?
Wow, sorry.
It's okay. What are your thoughts on R&B today versus yesterday?
Well, right now, R&B is more. People call R&B hip hop. Like, how do you sing today? Like you say, oh, so what do you sing? Rap, you know. So it's like R&B has it has transformed from singing and harmonies and melodies into the singing and the harmonies and melodies that you hear rap records, and that's what R&B is. And I'm not a rapper, so I think it's cool for the kids but from where I come from and the exposure that I had with music, it's not too enjoyable for me for every song to have the same sound, same melody. You know, there's 20 artists that you hear on the radio. They're all talking about the strip club, behind and titties like they were just invented. They're all talking about throwing money like throwing money just started. So it's not, I don't see any growth in it. I don't think my kids could learn a lot from the music that's, you know, when I was medicine, sensuality from the Isley medicine from my mother. I watched her cry, get happy to music, you know. I watch her get strong to music, you know. So it's two different eras. I'm a respecter. I'm a Renaissance man, so I respect the era, but it's just not relevant to me per se. You know, you know, it's like whatever you, until it comes back to real musicianship, real content.
So do you think that, no, quit apologizing. Do you think that there is a way for, like, do you think that it'll come back to that? Because I think that there's enough people of my generation and your generation that want to hear what we like. Don't you think it'll come back?
You still have that music there. And to answer your question, if you're waiting on the masses up top, if you're waiting for some surge of this old antique R&B to come back. I don't think that's gonna happen. You got artists. Most people don't know that Troop has 2 new projects out. You still have R&B artists, but there's no surge of loyalty to it. So I don't know with today's market. I don't know if people are gonna even be receptive to it. It would have to like already, you know. Really don't know. It's really hard to say, but I just like myself trying to lead the R&B remnant of it for it to last and stick around a little bit, you know.
Well, I have faith and keep the faith. What would you tell someone that wants to be a songwriter, a producer, or a singer?
I would say check the market. Whatever the desire of your heart is, I would say go for it. But the really strange way right now. There's not a lot of money being made by the writers and the producers like myself, because it's free. Everybody's able to listen to our music without paying us. Everybody enjoy and the thrill of that precious gift, money off of it. So I wouldn't be high on my list to advise anybody to become a songwriter, because the business is not lucrative. You know, just tell them if they believe in themselves, regardless of what the situation looks like, I would say go for it. Write as many songs as you can with many different people. Try to become the best songwriter you can, you know. Sponge up from everybody that's great. You can't be great just by you get great because you're pursuing greatness. You know, it's like practice makes perfect, not just practice, you know. Because if you practice wrong, you're not going to be great, you know. And I would just say with tunnel vision, you know, and I would always be happy as a songwriter while I'm pursuing it, you know. But I would also listen for change, because as a songwriter, you grow. It never stops. So I would just tell whoever's trying to pursue music, open to change.
What impact has social media had on your career?
On my career? Well, it's giving me, I'm sorry, was that loud? I'm sorry. It's given me a resurgence as an artist. It's given me direct contact with my fans, people who still love my music, who still love Troop's music. It's given me an opportunity to be alive. They know I exist. So, you know, social media is this live breed, you know, and if you utilize it, it can benefit you a lot, you know. I have a lot of friends on social media that are just fans, and we, you know, it's just awesome. I think it's awesome.
And that's how we met. So I
exactly.
And what would you do? So you, I know, you have 2 accounts on Instagram. You have Steven Speaks as well as Steve of Troop. So can you please share with the audience what you talk about with Steven Speaks, yes, for your fan page as well as the Instagram, so that people can now follow, and, you know, as you start to do things around that, they will be able to jump on.
Okay, Who Speaks is my, how would I say, it's more of who I am as a person, who I've grown to become over the years. Being a songwriter, being behind the scenes, I've a self-made esoteric who for the past 15 years, almost 20 years, and I found so many things that I did when I was young, so many things that I found to be true, thought of, just that are right in my face that I was blind to because of status or my religious beliefs. I've grown a whole lot in a lot, and on Steven Speaks, I share that with the people who follow me. I share the different ideals and the different questions, questions that people are afraid to ask, the things that people, I have married friends say certain things because of who they're married to. So a lot of them live vicariously through me. They might send me something sometimes. Steve, what do you think about hosted? And get the world's opinion on it. So Steven Speaks. I have more fun with that. My music page. With people who love the music. People love what we did in the past, so far from that 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old spread my wings. So I respect the music side but the expansion and that's taking place in my life is all coming from my Stevens.
I understand. And can you please say, what is the, it's Steven_Speaks, right?
Yes, it's Steven _ it's a very intriguing Instagram page. It's not like your average Instagram page. If you really want solution, if you want to tweak your interest about certain things, it's the page to follow. If you're not afraid to, if you have an open mind about things that you've never heard before, lips of wisdom are closed except to the ear that will hear. If you want to hear, Steven Speaks.
Okay, well, everyone, please check please check it out. It's very interesting. I will warn you, it's very interesting. What was the first moment you realized that you were doing exactly what you were put on the earth to do?
Went to the Apollo Theater at 18 school to perform after being watched many times, watching New Edition on Apollo, after just watching and all these people on Apollo. When I came to New York and we got on that stage, and when Vanessa Williams announced our name and all of those people stood up and started going crazy, that was the most amazing thing in my, because it's hardcore, straight up, it's totally different than where I'm from in the West Coast. People on the West Coast will smile at you and not even really like you. If they don't like you, they're not even gonna see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For those people to jump up and just start screaming and singing our song for us, I thought that was just the most amazing thing. All of that practicing, sandwiches and drinking fruit punch you know, just surviving, I knew that's what it was for, that it was worth something.
That had to have been quite an experience. But even to this day, when you perform, and I've obviously been to some performances, and to see the whole room sing your songs, that has to still be pretty cool. Especially songs that you wrote.
Yeah, it is. It's all, yes. When somebody's singing something and they're singing it to you, you know, like if somebody's crying because the lyric is so good, they're performing on stage. There's nothing like people receiving you and receiving your gift. The song, you may have questioned if anybody would like it, but now the world loves it. So that's been answered. You did a good job. People, you know. That I wish didn't come was the belief in it, to the point where when people are not singing the songs and people are celebrating you the same way, you lose a sense of yourself. I wish that wasn't there, you know. But other than that, it's an awesome experience.
So from when Troop had stopped doing albums, you just wrote and produced in that time period, and you did the American Idols, you did all these other people that you named, correct? Just so people know.
Yeah, I worked on a lot of the artists from American Idol, and also there's another worked on some artists from as well. The K-pop groups over in overseas, I'm on that. It's been an amazing ride. To be honest with you, everything that I wanted to accomplish in music. I've been charts over Michael Jackson, MC Hammer, Babyface, everybody that I idolized. I can say I was #1 at that time. I had time with them. From an artist to being a songwriter, it's been a wonderful, wonderful. And when I look back at it, you know, you can't have the good without the, you know, I accept all of the things that were negative just as well as I took all of the wonderful, great places. It's been a wonderful ride doing what I've done as an artist. Totally grateful.
So in recent years, many people don't know, but you've came out with 2 solo CDs that are both amazing. The first one being, what is the name of the first one? I've lost it. What's the name of the first one?
Random.
Yeah, So Random. So Random has a duet with Kandi Burruss that is just so hot and should be on every radio station. But that's just my personal opinion.
What song?
The one with Kandi. But yeah, that was amazing. But then, yeah, I want to give it to you. Yes. But then last summer you came out with The Wedding Singer, and The Wedding Singer, if you are getting married, I'm telling you, The Wedding Singer it's not all slow songs, but every song has the same message, and it is a perfect soundtrack for a wedding. Perfect soundtrack for a wedding.
Yeah.
Like every song has the right message, and it's just, and it's that good R&B that I know me and my friends are looking for. And actually somebody else just bought your CD like maybe 3 weeks ago, and they liked it as well. So I bought it, even though I already had it. I bought it because it was that good. It was excellent, and I still listen to it. It is so good. So please head over to iTunes, Google Play, whatever online store, and purchase purchase the Wedding Singer. So Random, you can get the physical CD from his website, motelmusicmedia.com. We'll have all this information below, but that is also on iTunes. And then there's probably like 7 or 8 Troop albums on iTunes that had some songs that I didn't know, and I thought I knew them all, but there were some I didn't know, and I said, wait a minute, what's that? But yeah, check it out. Please check it out. So Steve, please share with everyone, what can we do to support you now, and what are you doing in the future, and all that fun stuff.
You can support me. I have a GoFundMe.com/Steven Speaks. Is a good way to support, because that way I'm always able to release music, always able to do small lectures. You know, I've started doing speaking engagements, and I'm finding a lot of fun in doing talk a lot. So I'm finding a lot of speaking. So I'm trying to grow as a business, and buying the music. You know, I release a lot of music, 5, 6 singles on catch this though. This is the tricky part. Under Steve Russell, Stephen Russell, Stephen Harts, Stephen Russell Harts. You have to, you know, at the time I was putting music up, I didn't realize my name and the way I did it. So, you know, sorry, a young entrepreneur. But I have a lot of music on iTunes, and that's one of the main ways to support our music. 2 new songs, Deeper Revisited. Everything has new music on it, you know. Who love Troop and who liked our music in the past, you got to listen to the new stuff so that you can grow with it. Still making a lot of music, and we still want who we are today as well as in the past.
Yeah, so you just released a single called Gone, and then Homeless was before that. So please check out the music. It is pretty, I'm telling you, I'm not biased. It really is good. So check it out. Okay, so finish this sentence. My job is...
You have to say that
one more time. Finish the sentence. My job is...
Wow. My signal is so bad, Dr. Renee.
Sorry.
Repeat it one more time. I'm going to try my best to hear it.
Finish this sentence. My job is...
Still unfinished.
Finish this one. I believe in...
The universal all.
Well, thank you so much. Please, the Troop is on tour. They have a couple cities this summer. Where can they find that information, Steve?
On Facebook, on Troop R&B, on Instagram at Troop R&B, my Instagram at Steve of Troop. I'm always posting information about what's going on with Troop. You can definitely find us on Facebook and Instagram. Or on my website, motelmusicmedia.com.
Great. Thank you so much. And next week, I'm not sure who will be here, but please stay tuned. We're trying to continue with the Black Music Month theme. So hopefully we'll have another, maybe it'll be an R&B legend, or maybe it'll be a new artist. And if you, like I said, if you would like to follow me, please follow at Ask Dr. Renee. If you want to see any old episodes, you can check those out there. This past week, we had D Nice on the show. It was a great show. Check it out. He gave a lot of information about how he got into DJing and all of that fun stuff. And he talked about Boogie Down Productions, of course, and how he produced Self-Destruction, which many people did not know. So please check that interview out. It was great. Thank you so much, Steve. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you next week. Same time, same place.